up, y'all? It's me, Erica, and we are down here. Peace, y'all. Take care of each other. Protect your energy.
What's up, everybody? It's me, Erica, and we are down here to talk about the Real Housewives of Miami reunion part 1. There's actually going to be 3 parts to the reunion. The first part was already good. The set is so good. I hollered when Nicole asked Larsa if she recognized the set. You see Nicole sitting in the first chair. Shout out to Nicole. Shout out to all the ladies. They all looked really, really nice. I don't know if I particularly like Guerdy's outfit. I don't know how. Um, it was nice. It was nice. I felt like it was a lot for a reunion, but nevertheless, it was nice. I like Nicole's outfit. Julia, yeah, she did look like a genie. She did look like a genie. She did. She was giving you gold genie. Um, Adriana had her fur coat on and she came out, honey. She looked nice. Her hair looked nice. When they were doing her makeup, I was like, Adriana is really pretty. I was looking at her face. Um Marisol, I felt like her dress was too big, but it was okay. Alexia's dress was okay. If you kind of see her and Alexia and Marisol were kind of dressed similar. They always dress similar for some reason. They say they don't plan it, but they were kind of dressed similar with the kind of, it was like a sparkly silver situation going on in the same around Marisol's dress. Um, Larsa looked okay. I was nothing, it was a nice dress. And then Nicole, she had on not Nicole, Lisa had on black. She looked nice too. She looked a little tan. Her hair seemed like it was a little darker as well. But they all looked nice. They were in a bank vault like Nicole's engagement party. So when they all walked out, and Andy asked Nicole, "You know where we are?" And she was like, "Yes, my engagement party." And then she tells Larsa, "Larsa, do you recognize where we are?" But she started off, honey, sitting in the first seat. Let's get into it. So, of course, they do their introductions. They go around. Um, Someone asked Nicole about the money that they make. How could you? I know you're a doctor. I know your husband is a lawyer, but how do you guys afford a boat, a helicopter, a plane? What do you have? A plane or a helicopter? I keep saying a helicopter. I think it's a plane. Do we drive a helicopter too? I don't know, but they do have a plane. They have a boat. Um, and somebody was like asking, how you guys all this money or whatever, and they were talking about their house and how much they sold that house for $44 million, and they bought it for 13 million and flipped it and sold it for 44 million. I was like, okay, I know that's right. She said my husband is just a really good businessman. um and I hope that Nicole and Anthony, especially Anthony, I hope Anthony has good business ethics. I really do. I hope we never find out that he is a shady person or anything like that. That would just crush the whole idea of them as a couple, because I really like them as a couple. I like their dynamics. I like that, Nicole wasn't in a rush to get married. She's fine with being engaged, but apparently they are going to plan a wedding. So we're going to see about that. They talked about Martina's cancer detection. She has throat and breast. I think it was throat and breast cancer. And she has throat and breast cancer. She said that they didn't detect it. Was it? I think it was throat. Let me see. Hold on. Let me make sure, because let me see if I have my notes from last week. Yeah, throat and breast cancer. That's my notes from last week. Throat and breast cancer. And she said they didn't detect it at first, but then they went and did another screening. I think she had like a swollen lymph node. And when they did the other screening, that's when they found the breast cancer. So she's in stage 1. So hopefully they can, get everything taken care of. They get on Lisa. Lisa, you had one of the largest storylines. She had a storyline. Somebody said Adriana didn't have a storyline, and she did. Adriana had a storyline. I do like her as a friend of the show. I thought it was, I don't know what is said about Alexia and Marisol being on the end of the couch, but Marisol is a friend, I think, of the show. I don't see her in the beginning. She's a friend. And that's good. I like the friend of a housewife position. To me, I feel like that's the best position to be in because you can hang out, you can party, you can go on the group trips, you can go on the international trips, you could do all these trips, and you don't have to tell anything. You just hanging out with your girls every time. We just hanging out. You don't have to really allow them into your life per se. So I know that it's a coveted, position to be, in the intro, in the front, holding whatever represents the state or city. But a friend to me, that's like the prime position to be in. For me, that's what I feel. So anyways, they talked about Lisa and, telling her, you had a, real, your divorce and things like that. The divorce is not finalized. They're still, she said they haven't even seen a judge yet. They asked her about the hot mic moment. Oh, they invited Lenny to the reunion and he declined. Lisa said she was okay with it. She was hoping maybe they can both sit down and maybe Andy mediate. Andy was like, I would love to do that. Of course you would. Speaking of Andy, the thing going around with Portia and Tamron Hall about the journalism thing. Somebody said that I blame Andy for the way that these women think, they can go around and not be asked tough questions because Andy doesn't really ask them the tough questions. And somebody said Andy wasn't a journalist. And then Andy came, he responded, he was like, I am a trained journalist. And, I worked for so many years for, I think he said NBC or something like that. But Andy, so if that's the case, if you're a trained journalist, what's up with the the questions that you ask? Like, girl. I asked him, are you okay? Because if you are a trained journalist, why are these questions so basic and baseline and they don't dig deep enough? I don't get it. I need for you to show your journalism skills. Like, girl, what's up? Anyway, so they invited Lenny. Lenny declined. They asked her about the hot mic moment. She said she didn't know about the hot mic moment until she saw the episode. And the woman that he's dating is the woman that she suspected, she always had suspicions about or whatever. She said one time she saw them in a hot tub and they were a little too close to each other. She said she told Lenny to get out. She was like, what's going on here? She saw them in a hot tub. What's going on here? And he was like, oh, it's nothing or whatever. And she was like, y'all a little too close. And she said she told Lenny, come here. And she looked at the girl like, so then they talked about their Halloween party. And the girlfriend couldn't come to the Halloween party because she has a restraining order on Lisa. Can you imagine? You are the mistress. How the fuck you gonna have a fucking restraining order against me? Girl, I wonder what Lisa was doing for her to put a restraining order. Maybe Lenny told her to do that, but why would you have she need a restraining order on your ass so you can't come anywhere near that fucking house. Anyways, girl. Anyway, so when she bumped into Lenny at the Formula One event, she talked about how her mother-in-law posted the video from the Formula One event. I think she was mad at Lenny, she said. They asked her, was she still buying Lenny's groceries? She said, yes, she is. The co-parenting is not going that good. And she says, she didn't believe it. She says that for 15 years, I think they were married 12, but I don't know. She said for 15 years, when they would get into arguments, he would always throw around the divorce, the D word, as people like to say. He would always throw out divorce every time they would get into an argument. Guerdy chimes in. She says that's verbal abuse. One thing I do like about Miami is the women chime in. Like they have their little commentary about what the other person, whoever's package it's on, other people have their commentary. The way they had so much commentary on Lisa's situation. Even Larsa, she jumps in. She was like, yes, you remember when they were in the hot tub? And nobody knew about that, of course. And then Andy was like, what? So they like to chime in on each other's packages, which I love. That's the one thing I really like, is that they chime in. And then when they get to Alexia's package, she was like, this is my package. When I tell you Alexia Echeverria, or whatever her new last name is so much like Teresa Giudice. Girl, I don't know what Teresa's new last name is. Teresa Louie, I don't know what her last name is, but they're literally like the same person. Literally like the same person. That dumb, goofy look when they're being called out, and then like you look dumb and goofy, but you still standing in some illogical mess. And it just looks like a dingbat. It's just like a dingbat to me. But they're not dumb, because Teresa ain't dumb, and neither is Alexia. But that goofy, it's so annoying. Anyways, she said, Andy asked her, do you think that there's issues with the way that you spend money? She says, but yeah, it's fine, but I work at the spa for free. That's what she said. They asked her, do you still love him? And she said, today or at this time, no, I don't. She says, I felt like I was tricked. I hear that a lot. Like when I was in a relationship, and I felt like I was hustled. I feel like I was hustled. I felt like I was tricked into this. And a lot of women feel like that. Like, because what happens is this person shows up with a representative, and then you fall in line with the representative. You like the representative, and then they switch up. And that's where you feel like you've been hustled and you've been tricked. I think a lot of women can attest to feeling tricked into a relationship with somebody. Like, who is this person? This is not the person that I was liking at the beginning. Who are you? A lot of people feel hustled. Now she's seen this tech mogul. He was in the back with her or whatever. She says he's totally different. He's very supportive, just totally different, out of the business. And Andy was like, that's good, because we don't want you with somebody looking at tits all day. They come back. Marisol and Adriana join. Marisol comes out with her bullhorn. I was like, Andy, I thought we said no more props at the reunion after Kenya and her bullhorn. You are a stupid hoe. Baby. Portia spell scepter. Bitch. Ooh, Kenya Moore is a legend, honey. Anyway, so Adriana and Marisol, they join the seats or whatever. They asked Adriana, why would you go to Larsa and ask her to go with you to get your Brazilian butt lift after you have been, talking mess about Larsa? Larsa is standing on her, I think when her and the Kardashian girls went and got their butts done, they said that they were going to say that their butts were real. And I know Armenian girls, some of them are curvy and they got butts and stuff like that. But them ant diaper booties y'all got, it's not giving. And if your body, as you grow into womanhood and different stages of womanhood, and yes, our bodies change, but if you growing your butt and hips and thighs usually match. They don't look like two little cinnamon sticks with 2 pieces of garlic, bulbs of garlic sticking out from your back, girl. It don't go like that. With your little cinnamon stick legs, girl. And I really truly believe that the Kardashians and Larsa Pippen made a pact that they would say that their butts were. You remember even when Kim laid on a table and had somebody do an ultrasound and say her butt was real, girl? It ain't no telling how much. It's probably the same amount they paid Forbes to say that Kylie was a billionaire, right? I'm gonna pay you to say that my butt is real, right? So she says that that's her natural butt. And then Adriana, girl, with her logic. This fool talking about, I'm Brazilian. I can go get a Brazilian butt lift. It's not called a Lebanese butt lift, because Larsa's Lebanese. It's not called a Lebanese butt lift. It's a Brazilian butt lift, and I'm Brazilian. I'm not appropriating. Girl. I said, these bitches are out of control. She said, I am not appropriating. It's not called a Lebanese butt lift. I owe it to my country because I'm Brazilian. Girl, but she didn't get a Brazilian butt lift, but I think she got a non-surgical where she was just laying on the table and they were like giving her shots or whatever. She didn't have the actual super dangerous surgery. I didn't realize until about a year ago how dangerous those surgeries are in the way that they have to inject the fat into you. Um, yeah, it's a really dangerous. They say it's like one of the most dangerous cosmetic procedures that you can have. I don't know why people put their life on the line, but sometimes beauty is deadly. It truly is. Anyways, they talk about Marisol. We were in the comments talking about Marisol and her drinking. And she says, well, when I'm drinking, I'm never mean. I'm never sloppy. Some people are like, we have really never seen Marisol drunk. I don't know if Marisol just takes sips, very small sips. I've never seen Marisol drunk either. I mean, she might just be drunk, and what we're seeing is someone intoxicated all the time, and they're able to just maintain. I know when I used to drink, and girl, let me tell you something, I could drink you under the table, but nobody could tell that I was drunk. And the only people who knew me when I start talking more than I normally talk, they're like, oh, she's drunk, right? But people couldn't tell. I would have to have a lot of liquor to be like stumbling or whatever like that. But like just drinking, and then I would always drink and then water, drink and water, drink and water, drink and water. So I was kind of, doing it like that. I don't know what Marisol does, but she says in her interviews, she does all that drinking and stuff like that with her bedazzled flask with the straw in it. She says she's doing that for her branding, and it's branding and marketing. So that's what she's doing it for. She said then she said something to Nicole about Nicole being a mean drunk. And Nicole was like, I'm not a mean drunk. She's like, yeah, you pushed me. Remember at her engagement party, Marisol was trying to console her and like she pushed her arm away. And then they were like, you were mean at your engagement party. She's like, yes, I was mean because she says, I was defending my profession, I was defending my career, and I was defending my reputation. So you got damn right I was defensive. And I don't blame her. They get on Nicole and her father. Will your father walk you down the aisle? And everybody's like, yes, Nicole, yes, Nicole, yes, Nicole. And she's just looking like, I like Nicole's hair. She had a little, I don't know if you could call it a little pompadour, but all her hair was like pushed back. Her dress was really cute. It went all together, right? She says she doesn't know if her father's going to walk her down the aisle. She says, I know everybody, is used to the traditional Latino family, the patriarch, the dad is the boss. She says, but I think it's important to have boundaries. She says that they went to therapy 2 more times. And she really feels like the therapy was helpful because if it wasn't for the show, she probably wouldn't have done the work to kind of help repair her and her dad's relationship. Did he ever say sorry? No, he didn't. The other women were chiming in saying, I felt bad for him because that's a man. And it's really sad that you have women who support a man being a man, and in that, the man being a man not expecting him to apologize. Like they're okay with the toxic traits of manhood, because why would you have your father apologize? Even Larsa was like, I felt sorry for him. That's a man. You're asking a man to apologize right then and there. I felt his crying was a sign of him apologizing. And then Larsa was telling her, you can, and it's funny, Larsa has all these things to say to Nicole. She has all these things to say to Nicole. And she says, you just have to see changed behavior. The apology saying sorry doesn't mean anything. You have to see changed behavior. And for Nicole, she wants an apology. She says, I feel like extending an apology is a small step to show that you are about to start changing your behavior. Larsa says you can't change your parents. She was like, and it's old. That's what Nicole said. It's old school, old world. I think she said it's old world for, the patriarch to be this macho man and not having to like show up emotionally. And it's very toxic. And for a lot of cultures, they've come to accept that level of toxicity as an expression of manhood. That's why the other day I was like, you want these men to teach these boys how to be men, and look at how they demonstrate manhood. It's a lot of it is very toxic. Anyways, so they said just accept him. Just accept him for the good parts of who he is. She says she doesn't want to seem like a spoiled brat. She says, but I just go back to remembering when I was a month in intensive care after being hit by a car. She was like, he didn't protect me. He was supposed to be protecting me, and he was so busy talking to his friends, he wasn't paying attention to me. I got hit by a car, and I was in ICU for a month. So that's hard to forget, right? And so it created an abandonment wound for her, and then Adriana chimes in and she says, yeah, my father left when I was 12, I think she said. Was she 12? I think I want to either say 7 or 12, but her father left the home, and she says, and you always have to be strong and work and work and work because you don't have any man or anybody protecting you. So she was like, I feel you, girl. She's spending more time with him, but she hasn't met the girlfriend yet. The girlfriend is 27 years old. The father is 70 years old. And then, of course, Larsa chimes in and she's like, that doesn't mean anything. I'm tired of people saying it means anything. I want to ask Larsa about the age difference if the person is like 19 with a 30-year age difference. Does she see a problem in that? Because, of course, her boyfriend, Marcus Jordan, is 10 years older than her oldest son. So, of course, she feels, when we start talking about age differences, she's gonna chime in because she's in a relationship with a younger guy. So even though I don't think it's a big deal, he's 32, and Larsa is 47, I believe. I don't know. For me, like no more than 6 years younger is like a limit for me, because I feel like there's generational differences once you get more than 7, 8, 9, 10 years younger. There's generational differences there. 6, 7 years younger to me is like acceptable to me. 10 years, if you're 44 dating a 34-year-old, that might work. I don't see, but like 34 dating a 24-year-old, nah. Like, to me, I feel like that's too far, But of course, she chimes in. Nicole says the woman is 27 and her dad is 70. What do you want with a 70-year-old man? Honestly, looking for her dad, probably. Look at that. To me, if you're 27 years old dating someone old enough to be your grandfather, like literally your grandfather, because you figure parents are about 25 years or 30 years older than their children. If she's 27, her father is probably 47, right? Or 50 or something like that. And you dating a man, another generation. He's 70 years old. That's a goddamn baby boomer. That's a baby boomer dating a 27-year-old. That must be a millennial. Come on. That's crazy. I'm sorry. That's crazy. Larsa, be quiet. You know what I'm saying? So anyways, they want to take another shot of tequila because they opened the show with taking shots of tequila because they did that last season. So Andy said, let's keep up the tradition and take another shot. And then when they went to another break, somebody said, can we take another shot? Andy was like, no. They're going to be doing a lot of yelling. Andy was like, I'm so effing exhausted. Alexia. So they get on Alexia. you remember that time and they were in the bus and she said she was a born star and I was born a star and you women are just jealous and this and that and I'm a star and that's it. So Andy says, I think it's safe to say everyone is a narcissist. No, what it is, I think where a lot of people get mixed up when we start calling people narcissists, it's narcissistic traits, right? You can't necessarily call someone a narcissist, but you can say they are demonstrating narcissistic traits, right? I think most people in reality TV, I think a lot of people have a level of narcissism in them, but not a personality disorder. You know what I'm saying? I think social media is a perfect example. Instagram is a perfect example of the level of narcissism that is within each of us. We can all exhibit those traits. But then Adriana gets up and she's like, here's the definition of narcissism. Andy reads the definition of being a narcissist. He goes off, a self-inflated ego, using people to your advantage and all this other stuff. He goes off. And he was like, okay, I take that back. We're all not narcissists. Because Adriana gets up. She was like, here, read this. And he was like, okay, we're all not narcissists or whatever. But then Alexia goes, one of the traits of narcissism is having self-confidence, right? But it's not just self-confidence. It's inflated. And then you look at other people as less than you. You look at other people like you think you're smarter than everybody in the room. You think everybody is lower than you or whatever. So she says that part of what she thinks about her in the realm of narcissism is that she has a level of self-confidence. She says, even my parents named me Alexia Astrid. She's like, I'm a star. I've been told that since I was a little girl. And then Andy has a little girl. He adopted a little girl. No, did he adopt? No, he didn't adopt. I think that's a biological child. I think so. Here, let me make sure. I think that's Andy's biological child. Andy Cohen. Ooh, wait. Let me get that right, daughter. Lucy. Her name is Lucy. That is so cute. Is that his biological daughter? Y'all let me know, because I can't do too much. Let's see. Benjamin and Lucy, who were both kids, were born via surrogacy, although Ben and Andy Cohen said that they are biological siblings. Okay. I think he used his sperm. If I'm not mistaken, y'all let me know. Has he ever gotten in detail about that? But I believe that those are his biological children carried by a surrogate. Ben and Lucy. So those are just regular names. Lucy. That is so cute to me. Lucy is cute to me, an old lady name. That's all. I love when they give, like the little girl, the little baby who does the wig reviews, Shalonda. That's her name. I love it. That little baby's name is Shalonda, honey. I love every minute of it. Anyway, what did he say? Oh, Guerdy says, so she tells Guerdy, you said it too. You said you were a star. And so they showed the clip where Guerdy was talking about all the magazines she was in. And she goes, I'm a star. And Guerdy says, yeah, I said it like funny, joking, I'm a star. I didn't tell other people that they were jealous of me because I'm the star. She was like, it's totally different, right? It's totally different. It wasn't the same. You try to belittle other people. And she was like, I think these women resent the fact that I'm resilient. Come on, Alexia. I think they actually admire your strength because, girl, you've been through a lot. If y'all don't know, if y'all just started watching Miami, you need to go back and watch the reunions at least. Alexia, when I tell you her life has been one tragedy after another, just after another. And the most recent one is her mother died on her scheduled wedding day. What was supposed to be her wedding day, her mother died on her wedding day. Girl, I was like, oh my God, something else. Frankie, the cocaine cowboy, just all of this stuff happening in Alexia's life. I don't think anybody is jealous or resents you for being resilient. I think they actually admire your resiliency because, honey, a lot of people would have just rolled over and died. Okay. Guerdy says you didn't thank me. You didn't say sorry because remember when she was making those comments about or comparing Marisol's party to Guerdy's party, and Guerdy said, "Well, it wasn't a party; it was a charity. That is something that is very close to me. I don't need any commentary or anybody saying anything about a charity that is so close to me." You tried to say that the charity or the party wasn't as good as Marisol's party. She said, she was like, I sent you flowers, because she wanted Guerdy to do her wedding, of course, or like well, she got married, but she did that thing on the yacht. And I think she wanted Guerdy to do that. Guerdy sent flowers, and then Guerdy ended up showing up, and she told her, I had another wedding to do. She says, I felt like you sending me flowers was planned and staged. And she was like, I don't have time to plan and stage sending you no flowers. I'm actually planning a wedding. That's why I couldn't come. So she said it felt like it was staged. And she was like, oh, you're still with that? That's the thing that it is weird about Alexia, is like she can hold on to some stuff that you've done to her, but when she does something to you and you bring it up, she tells, what, you're still with that? You can get why are you still talking about that? She wants you to get over it, basically. She says, Guerdy says, you hurt my feelings, you hurt me. And then she told Guerdy that you're not going to castrate me like you castrate Russell. You see Guerdy's face. She was sitting over there. Guerdy looked so pretty with her hair. She had the little waves going. She was looking at her like, I said, yes. Give her the death stare, Guerdy. She says, Guerdy tells Alexia, you only bring chaos and confusion when you argue. Yeah, it gets very loud. It gets very like a tornado. It's a mess. It really is. And then they get on Alexia. Andy tells Alexia, it seems like you have a hard time accepting responsibility and apologizing when you've done something wrong. Baby, when they showed that clip of her saying, slander, when she was talking to Adriana, because she said that it is slander, saying that man, was married and this and that. They talked about her comment about saying all Russian women make good prostitutes because she saw some documentary or something like that. And they showed her apologizing again to Julia, giving her a hug that night, right? Giving her a hug and saying, I'm really sorry. She accepted her apology. She says, but I felt like your apology wasn't, really sincere or whatever. She was like, and then remember at that table, she says, I have a right to say what I want. And it's funny because you have a right to say what you want, but when somebody says something to you, you get upset about it. That's what it's like a double standard that you have. And and then Nicole was saying how, you expect people to suck your feet, basically suck your toes, to get you to, forgive them when you say things that are off the wall to people and you just have a hard time apologizing. Alexia said, maybe I have a hard time apologizing because when I apologize to someone, I want to mean it sincerely. I don't want somebody to tell me to apologize. I want to apologize and really mean it or whatever. Then she says something about a stigmatism, right? So she goes, I've always heard that, there's a stigmatism. Marisol's helping her out. She says a stigmatism. And then Adriana goes, stigmatism is an eye disease. And then Nicole starts laughing and she says, you mean stigma, like that. And then Marisol goes, okay, Amex. And she goes, oh, should I add you as a co-signer so you can get one too? I said, come on, Nicole. Get her. So funny to me. Girl, that when I tell you they were going back and forth, that everybody was going back and forth. And it's funny because they talk during someone else's package. Alexia kept saying, this is my package. I need to defend myself. This is my package. Y'all are talking during my package or whatever. So then she said, Better for the future of for my daughter. I don't know what you're talking about. I said sorry, Alexia. It was insulting. What was insulting? I don't remember that part. Oh, did you apologize for saying that Terry, the Brazilian guy that Adriana was dating? Did you apologize to him for saying that he was married when he wasn't really married? She's like, no, I'm not apologizing, and I'm still not apologizing. That's not even her boyfriend. She rents men. They were like, what? Everybody was like, rents men. She was like, yeah, she rents men to come with her to events and stuff like that. And then she said, you resent me because I have love. That's what she was saying to Adriana. You don't have love, and that's what you resent about me, because you have to pay men to go places with you. I don't have to pay anybody. I have love. So she was going back and forth, and she was like, you are demoralizing me by trying to say that I would go out with a married man. So then Adriana has another receipt. She gets up and she gives it to Andy. So it's a text message from 2020 where Adriana and Alexia are going back and forth, and Alexia's trying to hook Adriana up with some guy. And then Adriana asks if he's married, and she says, I'm not sure if he is, but I think he's having problems with, I think he is, but I think he's having problems with his wife or something like that. And she said, well, I don't date married men. That's bad karma. So the fact that she knows that she wouldn't date a married man, and then to turn around and be like, this man is married, she's kind of saying, you're trying to say something about me when you know I won't date a married man because I think it's bad karma. And then Andy says, well, it just seems like you have a hard time owning the things that you do and apologizing for, and she's over there looking all stupid and stuff. It's really like watching Teresa. It really is. It really is. And she says, I just want to be sincere in my apologies. That's why I don't apologize when somebody asks me to apologize. I'm not going to apologize. And she was like, that's not even her boyfriend. I'm not apologizing to him or whatever. It's slander. It's slander. And then that's when Nicole said, when it's you expect people to suck your toes. And she goes, no, I wouldn't like that. Girl, you want people to kiss your ass. That's what she was basically saying. She was like, I had to send you a text message. I had to take you out to dinner. I had to do all of these things. Adriana had to apologize for 3 episodes. They showed her apologizing to you for something, and you won't apologize to nobody else. Larsa, you stay out of it. Larsa says, no, you stay out of it. You put a muscle over there looking like Big Bird. But I tell you, Larsa be ready. She be ready. But it's like, be quiet. Why are you saying anything? But you really can't tell Larsa to be quiet because they're all chiming in on each other's packages. They all are. They're not waiting for Andy to ask them questions. They're just chiming in. That's the one thing that I do like. I don't know that they do that much on, I was just, looking at when we just saw Potomac. I don't think they chime in on each other's packages. I got to go back and watch it. But baby, when I tell you it's a lot of, even in the subtitles, it says overlapping argument because they just talking and talking and talking. It's a mess. Larsa, you stay out of it. Nicole, with your American Express. They talked about the lawyer. Andy says that he never identified with someone so much than that man that day, arguing, going back and forth. The girls were arguing. Nicole gets up, throws her heavy ass black card on him. Girl, I love it. And then you see Marisol saying, "Ay, por favor." Because everybody's yelling. Y'all need to watch. If y'all don't watch Miami, you are missing out on a great show. Like, to me, like I saw the Beverly Hills cast shot, and I was looking like, oh God. I asked, who do we think has the best formula in the cast, the way that the casting is? Miami they got it. They have the formula down. They have the formula down. They have the formula down for the whole image of the housewives, whether some are married or not, but the wealth, the luxury, just showing the price tags of things. But then they have the drama, their personal conflicts with each other. They argue, but then they have this fabulousness about them. Even Adriana at the beginning, she said, Miami's going to bring the fashions. Miami's going to bring the style. Baby, that set, just the way they look, whether you personally like their outfits or not, they just all look like money. Like, I don't know. I like Miami. I think they have the formula down. I think, at first I said bring them back to Bravo. No, leave them right on Peacock. Leave them on Peacock. I am here for it. I love Miami. I'm here for it. So, do you see how they would be upset at you throwing the card? She was like, I didn't throw my card at him. That's what she was looking down. She was like, I didn't throw my card. Nicole, I didn't throw my card at him. Lisa says everyone was embarrassing that day. She was like, I'm so glad that y'all brought the lawyer there to speak to me about what my options were, but everybody that day was embarrassing. Did Nicole apologize to the lawyer? Did Nicole, because remember Anthony at their gringo dinner, I didn't review that episode, but at their gringo dinner, Anthony, he was like, you want me to send him chocolates? What you want me to send him? So Anthony and Nicole did send an apology to the lawyer for whatever. And maybe you said that I'm a star. Oh, what happened where they said something about I'm a star, I'm a star, I'm a star, and then oh, that's what Lisa said. Lisa said maybe you felt like in that moment you needed to say I'm a star, so that you can feel like, good about yourself in that moment. And then Alexia goes, I want everybody to feel that way. I want everybody to feel like they're a star. If you felt like you were a star, maybe you wouldn't have let Lenny treat you like that. She said, what? Andy was like, everybody was like, no, you don't say that. That's not nice. Why would you say that to her? And that's what it is about Alexia. Alexia feels like she can say what she wants. And sometimes the things that come out of your mouth, it's just like, girl, what did you just say? It's not too far off from the way shit that comes out of Adriana's mouth, right? Y'all be saying some crazy shit to each other. She said, maybe if you thought you were a star, you wouldn't have let Lenny treat you like that. Girl, you wouldn't have let Lenny do those things to you. Girl, that was a mess. She was like, what? And that's where it ended, y'all. That's where the episode ended. Part 1. Part 2 comes out next week. We'll be reviewing that. It was a good episode overall. A lot of overlapping talking. I'm going to go watch it again because it was really good. I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed the back and forth. I love that they talk. Even though it's like it gets with the cross conversation, it gets a lot like you can't really hear them going back and forth. So you can't catch the little things that they're saying to each other or who actually says it because they're just all talking at the same time. I like Miami. I like Miami. I enjoy Miami. I think who is Miami produced by? Producers. Because whoever produces it says Matt Anderson, Nate Green, and Andy Cohen are recognized as the executive producers. It was produced by Purveyors of Pop. That was at the beginning. The 3rd season and last season of Real House was aired and not to air until 2021. Who's the producer? Who produces Purveyors of Pop? Now, Purveyors of Pop, they produce, are they still the producers? Because they produce Married to Medicine. Married to Medicine is really good. Honestly, Truly Original, I don't think they're a good production house. I'm sorry. Because Atlanta and Potomac really suffer, and they're both produced by the same production house. New Jersey is produced by Sirens Media. That is headed by a Black woman. That show is produced very well. Purveyors of Pop, I love the way they do producing. Truly Original, I don't know what they got going on over there. Who's the head of Truly Original? Steve Weinstock? Y'all need, I don't know, Glenda Hirsch and Steve Weinstock, who serve as Truly Original's co-president and CEOs. I don't think that they're a good production house. I'm sorry. I think they do poor with production. Y'all really are a poor production house. I'm sorry. I'm just going to say it. I'm just going to say it. Purveyors of Pop, they are producing great shows. Sirens Media producing great shows. I really feel like it would change if Atlanta and Potomac got out of Truly Original and they had another production house produce them that show, because I think Truly Original is trash. I do. I think they are, to me, the way that Atlanta and Potomac are produced, it seems like it's being sabotaged. That's what it seems like to me. I've been saying that. I've been saying that about Atlanta. When Atlanta started to suffer, I was like, what's going on with Atlanta? Are they trying to sabotage the show so it's not the, most viewed, most popular show out of the Housewives franchise? I don't know. Head of, let's see. I think Purveyors of Pop, I think those are two gay dudes for some reason. Head of Purveyors of Pop, Matthew Anderson. For some reason, I think that he's a gay, the gay dude. Matthew Anderson and Nate Green. Okay. And then Andy's executive producer. And let's see, the head of Sirens Media, it's a black woman. I know, because I already did the research. It's a black woman. Her name is Miyoshi Hill. Yeah, they do great. They do great productions of reality shows. Truly Original, I don't know what's going on with them. Anyways, y'all take care of each other, protect your energy. Let's get down in the comments. Peace.